I'm happy. So Google Ads live stream. We're going to be doing this every Friday at 9 a.m. Arizona time, which at present moment is 9 a.m. Pacific. But Arizonans are petulant, and we don't celebrate daylight savings time, so that might move around on you just a little bit. Couple notes. First one is I need to cut today a little bit short because I have a meeting at 9:30, so I've only got about a half hour. But I want to give these as much time as I can, now into the future, because we've been getting some amazing questions. I also noticed that someone said that the comment feature wasn't working last time in the beginning, so we might just give it a minute to kind of kick in and do whatever it needs to do. But my intention here is to answer your questions. So whatever questions you have about Google Ads, traffic, just general entrepreneurship, I'm fine kind of dancing around if I feel like I have the answer. I want to be real careful, though, and I want to make sure I stay within my realm of proficiency, because you don't want to take advice from somebody that doesn't really know what they're talking about. In the interim, while we're waiting for people to jump on, I wanted to talk about something that is a little more basic from a Google Ads perspective, but I think is really important, and it gets glossed over, and it's call tracking. Most agencies aren't tracking calls very well. And if they are tracking calls, they're doing it based off of time duration. So they say, if a phone call lasts for longer than 45 seconds, then it's a lead. This is a catastrophic error. And it's a catastrophic error because Google is a machine learning mechanism that's working to try to replicate your successes. If you give Google any false positives, it's going to go and try to replicate those. So you're basically going to go get more of what you don't want. And to say that any phone call that lasts more than 45 seconds a lead, it's not even like it's 10 or 20% off. Like, you might be 10 or 20% right. If you go look at the call recordings that you have, if you're recording your phone calls, actually count them up. Count up how many calls last over 45 seconds or whatever threshold you're using. I think 45 seconds is the standard, but so you might use a minute or a minute and a half or whatever. But review the calls and take a look at how many are actual viable leads. And I think what you'll find is, 20, 30% of them might be. So what we do, and I know of one other agency on the planet that does this, we listen to and score every single phone call that our agency generates, which, by the way, y'all, is not easy. We've got 2 people on staff full-time that do nothing but this. Shout out to Harsh, by the way, who runs that team and does a great job with it. It's tough, but it's also necessary, and it's necessary because you need clean data. If you don't have clean data, then you're not going to put yourself in a position to be able to properly optimize your campaigns. And for some accounts, phone calls are the majority of the conversions, or at least really important facets of their conversion slate. Now, some accounts, it doesn't matter. So you might say, like, from an e-com perspective, I don't track and record phone calls, so that's fine because it's not as relevant to you. But if you're lead generation, local, call only, professional services, whatever, then it's really important that you're tracking and recording your phone calls. Oh, and I noticed we got some viewers and we have some comments. And my business partner is here, and I'm not reading his comment because he's being petulant, but I love him anyway. It's also his birthday tomorrow, so shout out to John, and happy birthday, brother. Love you. Imran's here. Hey, Imran, thanks for being here. Really appreciate you. If y'all have questions, y'all, you can just sit here and listen to me ramble, which I know is tons of fun because I'm so interesting. Hashtag sarcasm. Or lob your questions into chat, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. Questions, comments, concerns, confessions. Kieran's here. Kieran, thanks for being here. Appreciate you. I was just talking to everybody about call tracking metrics, and it's a software solution that we use to track and record phone calls. So my recommendation to anybody that needs to prioritize phone calls as a lead source is you have to listen to and score your calls. You have no other option. So if you need help with that or have questions about it, we've got some videos on how we do it inside of YouTube. And maybe I'm going to make a note for myself. I'm going to create a more comprehensive training on that. How to track and cool. By the way, John, oh yeah, you saw Imran saying happy birthday. That's cool. This is a stupid note, but because of the software that I was using, I was never sure if people could see each other's chats. So it's nice to know that you can see that. Can you do me a favor, John? Will you screenshot what it is that you see? I'm just curious. Imran says, traffic filtering and affiliate fraud detection tools like PPC Protect and Filter It really effective. You know what's interesting about that, man, is I shot a video a month or two ago talking about fraud prevention, and my answer then was kinda. It was, mediocre at best, and maybe worth it. I don't know. And what happened is there's a company called ClickCease, and ClickCease reached out to me directly. Shout out to my boy Jesse, and said, "Hey, it's been 2-3 years since you used ClickCease. We want you to look at it again." And they gave me a free app just to toy with and to play with. And so we loaded up our campaign into it, and a handful of other clients. And it's actually been kind of nuts what it's caught. The thing that I think is the coolest is it blocks VPNs, which has been really helpful for us, because we noticed that we were getting a lot of clicks from locations that we didn't want, even though we have our geo fence really tight. And so ClickCease is really helpful because it blocks VPNs. The other thing that it does that I thought was really amazing is it aggregates malicious IP addresses across its entire customer pool. So if you have a fraudulent click, ClickCease tracks that. And I don't think I don't think one click is enough to ban an IP, but if they notice the same IP is messing with, 2, 3, 4 customers, they'll take that and they'll push that into its entire customer pool of, I don't know how many customers they have, but I know it's in the thousands at least. And so that your ability to kind of crowdsource, that's a massive value proposition. And they're super cheap. Unbelievably inexpensive, to be honest with you, given what they do. If they stop one click for us, they paid for themselves. What do they cost? $50 a month for up to 5,000 clicks, which is kind of crazy. I'm not going to play the affiliate game because I don't know that I love that. And I also want to make sure that I want to keep this channel very above board. I want y'all to feel like the recommendations that we give you only come from the fact that we use things. So I'm not a ClickCease affiliate. I will say, though, that we're probably going to partner with them on a couple things. They did give me a free account, so you might call that affiliateness, because I am getting paid, in that way. I don't have to pay them for our account. And they're also going to sponsor. They're actually sponsoring one of our events. They're going to sponsor our 3x Shopify event we've been talking to them about. But we're only doing that. Where are they? Yeah, you can see ClickCease is a sponsor. We're only doing that because we believe in the product, and I've been pretty impressed with what they've done. I would log in and show you what they do right now, but my fear is I don't know what information of my clients I'm going to expose when I log in. So maybe if y'all don't mind, I'm going to wait for a little bit, A, and let our information tenure, and then B, I'll shoot a video on our experience with ClickCease so far. I haven't used PPC Protect at all, full disclosure. They do seem a little lighter from a functional perspective, but they've dropped some amazing value bombs in their content, so they're absolutely worth paying attention to. Yeah, ClickCease, y'all. ClickCease. I'll drop this link into the chat, just so you have it. And what's kind of cool about it is it's not domain specific. So we've got, well, I guess this package over here isn't. We've got a handful of clients on it, and so if you're an agency, you can put a couple of different accounts in there. And again, if it stops, our CPCs can be $100. It's not all of them, but you know what I mean? If it stops 1 or 2 fraudulent clicks, then we're probably in really good shape. So I've been impressed. I've been really impressed with it. David says, hi, Kasim, which Google ad product would you suggest for a product page for a product people should discover? I'm selling a documentary film I directed. It's not a product or service people are already searching for. I've sold 37,000 copies through Facebook and organic, trying to figure out how to sell the DVD Blu-rays in Google Ads. Yeah, so, man, really good question. That promoted films that had a social message. So if you're familiar with Alone No Love or The Bully Project, which was Academy Award contending documentary, I helped market those. And I think what you want to do, David, is play very heavily in the YouTube space. There's something to be said for display, but I'm not good enough at it or know enough about it to even muddy in those waters. But I do think that from a YouTube perspective, especially given that it's a documentary, you're going to be able to identify channels and videos that are thematically similar to your documentary, or identify channels and videos that intrinsically qualify the people that are watching those channels and videos as somebody who might be interested in your documentary. And then you want to put a trailer or something in front of them. I don't know what your ability to sell a piece of media like that is going to be frank, because everybody's used to, the whole world has commoditized that service. If it's not on Netflix or, Amazon Prime or whatever, depending on the conduit through which people have to pass, it may be difficult. And I'm not discouraging you at all. I want to be as honest as I can be. So at a minimum, make sure that it's accessible through a purchase procedure that people are aware of, so they can buy it on Amazon and, stream it, or buy it on Google Play or whatever. But I've seen some people try to sell media, like Joe Dispenza did this. I just bought a course from Joe Dispenza, who I really like, and I paid $300 for a course that I can't download. I can't watch on mobile. I can't engage anywhere except from his website if I have good streaming bandwidth, and it pissed me off. I emailed their support team and I was like, y'all, this is stupid. Like, Joe's famous enough to be able to go pull down Kajabi, do yourself a favor, and build in an LMS that actually allows me to engage. So just make sure, David, that when you're selling this, you're driving people to something that's actually engageable. It's just like selling an ebook and not having a Kindle version of it. People are already sort of inside of the confines of the little box that you want to play inside of. And the other thing that you can do is go load it up in Amazon and then use Amazon's in-app ad management tool. I did that for my book. I ran quite a bit in the way of ads to my book, and I didn't make money. I broke even, but I got an insane amount of really good feedback and some awesome leads. We ended up getting a lead. It was the team that was building products for Danica Patrick. They wanted us to do their advertising, and we ended up not working together just because they wanted more than I wanted to offer. But it drove some really, really solid engagement. So I'd look at Amazon's ads too, David. I hope that helps. Let me know if that's. I don't want to be a fence sitter. It's not really my bread and butter, to be honest, though. So I don't know that I'm the best person to look at. Maybe go look at other people that have done really successful with their documentary distribution too. Imran is saying email and SMS in India have pathetic open rates. What other channels might be used to reach out to existing customers or repeats? Is WhatsApp an option? Yeah, I don't know anything about WhatsApp from a prospecting perspective. I'd be really curious, Imran, why emails and SMS have pathetic open rates. Because SMS here has like a 90-some-odd% open rate last I checked. I don't know that you should abandon it just yet. I would look at the why. And, the why might be that the IP that people are sending things from, they're not taking the time to clean things up the way that they should. So I'll give you an example. We just hired a company to do email for us for the 3X Shopify Challenge. And it's a company called B2B Bandits. And what's really interesting about B2B Bandits is they write the content for you, but before they do any of that, they build your email marketing tech stack, your technical infrastructure. And I had no idea, I'll drop this link in the chat too, I had no idea how much was involved in making sure that emails could actually get delivered. It's pretty crazy. So before abandoning email and SMS, I'd go figure out the why and see, because honestly, if you're the one that can make it work, then you just set yourself above everybody else. And if not, and you have those lists, try to use custom audiences. Facebook custom audiences are pretty amazing, man. They're matched, I think they say they have close to like a 50% match. I don't believe that to be true. I think it's less than that. But regardless of whatever their match is, you can upload those lists into Facebook, and then you can advertise to those people, to those exact people. You can tell Facebook, hey, I want to advertise to these people, and then Facebook will go, great, got them. Google can do the same thing, but you have to spend 50 grand inside of Google and be compliant, I think, for like 6 to 9 months or something like that. John would know before you're able to use their custom audience solution. So I hope that helps, brother. Let me know if that was a good answer or not. Mohammed says, hi, Mohammed. Thanks for being here. David says, thanks, bro. I hope that helped, David. Appreciate your question, man. That was a good one. I like the specific questions, y'all. Give me your specific use case. Mohammed says, can you go over how to take a brand new e-commerce store and set up Google Shopping campaign and how you then shift to smart shopping? Yes, I can. Here's what's really interesting, man. You're asking the best question anybody could ask me right now. We are going to launch our challenge. So 3xshopify.com. It's not really open for registration yet. This is my beta page. So you can register if you want to, but nothing's going to happen. However, Mohammed, we're going to go over exactly what you just asked. It's not something I can do on a live stream because I've only got 15 minutes, but it's absolutely free. It's 100% free. And it's 3 days. And my business partner, who's actually the smart guy, y'all, if you don't know, like I'm the mouth and he's the brains. He's going to walk you through step by step, click by click, exactly how we build smart shopping campaigns, specifically for Shopify stores, but you're still going to get a lot out of it. We ran the 3x Shopify challenge last October, and the results we got, they're on this page. They're amazing. You can see the video testimonials from people. Like what we've been able to do inside of smart shopping is unbelievable. So keep your eyes peeled. The event is May 10th, and it's going to be a 3-day event. It will be recorded, but you have to pay for the recordings. So if you want the media and you don't want to pay, then you got to show up. And I want people to show up because I want questions. And I'm hoping to have a few thousand people there. To be honest with you, we're going to go real big here. So I hope that helps, Mohammed. I'd love to see you there. Oh yeah, John's saying, Imran, you can also upload your customer list and have it in Google and do discovery and display marketing. You can even incentivize them with special offer for being a loyal customer. That's a really good idea, John. I think there's a lag in the chat, by the way, when y'all say something and when I see it. So John, sorry if I'm just repeating what you're typing at me. Imran said that's super helpful. Awesome, man. I really appreciate it. Y'all, I'm so excited about this 3x Shopify challenge. Smart shopping is easily the biggest opportunity accessible to online retailers that I've ever seen. What happens is instead of waiting for people to search for your product and say, hey, I want to buy this, Google looks at the people that are already buying on your site, even if there's only a few of them. You don't need many. I think like 20 conversions. It looks at the people that are buying and it says, what's similar about these people, demographically and psychographically? And then it pushes your ads in front of those similar prospects. Google is collecting 70 million demographic and psychographic profiling factors on every single human that engages with this ecosystem. It knows, and to put that in context, by the way, Facebook collects 55,000. So Facebook has 55,000 profiling factors, which is a lot. It's nothing to, balk at. Google has 70 million. And it takes those 70 million factors and it uses it to build audiences. It knows what you're going to do before you do it. There's this really cool article that I cite all the time. I'll show you all. This is really kind of fun too. It's from Moz. Google told a woman she was pregnant before she knew. This was in April of 2015. This was 6 years ago. Almost exactly 6 years ago. Think about the speed at which machine learning moves. Okay? 6 years ago, Google knew a woman was pregnant before she did based solely off of her search and communication patterns. Oh, first of all, wow, that's amazing. Second of all, what do they know now? What do they know now? The things that Google would be able to piece together, if you think about the fact that if you're on an Android phone, they can see every phone call that comes in and out, every text message that comes in and out. If you're using Gmail, they can see every piece of information that you're sending and receiving. If you're using GChat, same thing. And then there's, your search, there's your location, there's Google Maps. They can see where you go, how long you stay. So let's get really uncomfortable here for a second. Google knows who's cheating on their spouse, right? Google knows when you lie to your mom. Google knows who cheats on their taxes. It's unfreaking believable. It's actually really super dangerous and very uncomfortable if you spend too much time thinking about all the information that Google has. Google knows what my children look like. I have 2 little boys, ages 4 and 6. And I wake up and I look at Google Photos and Google will say, like my boys' names are Sammy and Ronan. Google will say, it'll put together a little montage. If anybody else has seen Google Photos, it's really cool. But it puts together a little montage of Ronan and it's only pictures of Ronan. It knows what my children look like. And so cascade that across. If Google sees a bunch of your pictures and it can identify who people are, it knows who you're hanging out with, it knows who they're hanging out with. So it knows your direct circles and social circles, it knows your extended circles and social circles. It knows how much money you make, what you're worth. That's why Google intent audiences are unbelievable. If anybody's ever used the Google in-market audiences, in-market means that Google knows you're in the market to buy something. And it's really amazing what they've been able to identify and in certain contexts, how well they work. So, all that to say, they've used it, I think, most effectively for e-commerce, and that's in smart shopping. So Google knows all this crap about you and they know what you're going to buy and when you're going to buy it. And then they're matching that up against products. So it's like, hey, Mohammed, whatever, likes soccer and watches Downton Abbey, and he bought this thing, so I'm going to go find other people like soccer and watch Downton Abbey. Obviously, I just way oversimplified it. And I'm sorry, Mohammed, I don't know if you actually like Downton Abbey. Mohammed said, if I sign up for the 3X challenge, will I be sending Will you be sending out notifications? We will. I don't think there's any notifications enabled yet because the page isn't technically live. But you'll get a notification when we decide to go live. Because you'll land inside of our little list. And honestly, if you're a subscriber, I'm going to be like pounding the airwaves when we're ready to start registering people, which will probably be around April 20th. And if y'all know anybody in the Shopify space that would benefit, please do me a favor and let them know. Share that as much as you can or as much as you want to, because we're really giving away the farm here. There's going to be an offer on the back end. Obviously, it's going to be for ascended training, but it's not 3 days to sell you something. It's 3 days of very, very, very real training. And then at the end of 3 days, we'll give you the offer and you can decide whether or not it's worth it for you. Oh, the other thing I forgot to mention that I should totally mention is my course is live and I'm so excited. So I made a course. It's called You versus Google. So you can go to youversusgoogle.com and it's like honestly an insane amount of work that went into this damn thing. You can buy it. It's $1,000. It's an expensive course, but I did that because it's not a course like most course creators create the course to sell you on something. I created a course to actually teach you, and it's pretty robust. Like just to show you here what's available and accessible. Oh, I don't have access anymore. Oh well, I'll do a video overview of my course someday. But if you're interested in Google Ads, buy the course. I'm offering a 90-day money-back guarantee. So if you don't like it, I'll give you all your money back. I won't ask any questions. I might ask like what I could have done better, but there's zero risk to you. Like if you give me $1,000, you should make 1,001 or more, either in savings or improved opportunity. I'm basically it's a vocation as far as I'm concerned. I Heart 3D Printing says, are you going to set up a sample of your course UI and sample video? I think that's what you just asked. So if I do a video walkthrough of what my course is and the videos that are inside of it, would that be proficient? Is that what you're asking for? Because I'll do that today. Walk through my course. I'll shoot that for you today if that's what you're asking me for. But yeah, I'd love to give you all an overview of what's in my course. And if you buy the course and you have improvement opportunities for me, please let me know. You'd be giving me a gift and doing me a favor. I want to get better. I want to get good. And we've got more stuff coming. We're going to have a course on advanced e-commerce, hopefully by the end of May. And I want to keep our courses up to date. We're also going to roll out just a membership because there are some people that are asking us for private coaching. And to be honest with you, we just don't have the time. We just don't have the time. We keep increasing our rate and then people keep paying it, which is cool, but it's also like starts to make me feel bad at a certain point. We build John's time out at $1,500 an hour. And what I'd rather see y'all do is join our membership, because for a couple $100 a month, you get access to us once every other week is what we're going to do. That's going to roll out in May too. Just keep an eye out because there's more coming. I Heart 3D Printing says, I watch most of your videos, but I don't always comment. Thanks for watching my videos. And y'all, for the new subscribers, we have like 1,700 subscribers. It's amazing. So thank you so much. I didn't know, because I don't know a ton about YouTube Organic. I'm learning as I do this. But the new subscribers, I think, are the primary signal to Google that we're actually relevant. So if it's worth it to you, subscribe. If it's not, don't, because I don't want to annoy you. But if you're already seeking us out anyway, please subscribe because it helps us, and I'd be grateful. I've got about 6 minutes. So who has questions? Who needs Google Ads help or is just curious about something? I'm going to issue forth some videos on topics that might be stem outside of Google just a little bit. Like I want to teach people how to build a customer avatar. I had another video on how to create your statement of value. I hope that was helpful. So if y'all don't mind, let me know what else you want to know. I've been in this for 15 years also. Really, I just made all the mistakes, like all the stupid things that could be done. I've done sometimes multiple times. And so I can save you from doing, all the same stupid things that I've done. You could get to go do your own unique stupid things. Pave your own way as far as that's concerned. Cool. I Heart 3D Printing says, did you notice a boost in subscriptions after hitting the 1,000 mark? Yeah, there was like an inflection point. That's exactly right. That's really funny that you asked that. Google, it's so funny. Right after we hit 1,000, Google removed their requirement to have 1,000 subscribers in order to go live, which is really funny because that's what I was aiming for. But I did notice that as soon as we hit 1,000, I think we were getting call it 10 subscribers a week, and we hit 1,000 and it bumped up. It might have doubled. And I think we might be averaging like 20 or 30. Ryan just chimed in. PPC Protect is helpful if you have large enough budget. I would say a minimum of $5,000 a month on AdWords. That's good to know. Thank you for that, Ryan. Ryan, just so y'all know, he's one of our subscribers, and this dude's an assassin. I hopped on a Zoom with him, and he showed me what he's doing. And Ryan, let me know if I can share the industry. I don't want to out you, but he showed me what he's doing in his industry, which is one of the most competitive industries I've ever seen. It's an industry that I actively avoid, and he's crushing life right now. So if you see him trolling around, he's a good person to listen to and pay attention to. And by the way, I know there's a lot of y'all out there. Like, I don't know how many people that watch my videos know more than me, but I'm sure it's a lot. And I'm probably shamed often if you're like, oh, well, I disagree, or oh, I have a better idea than that, or oh, I've been able to make that work. So I have a very healthy ego, and I don't mind at all if somebody chimes in and says, hey, man, I don't agree with that because, or I've seen something different here, or whatever. So if you have a suggestion or just a difference of opinion, please hit me up in the comments. Let's keep the conversations going, and because all you're going to do is iron sharpening iron. So we're going to make ourselves better. Ryan says I can share. So Ryan is crushing residential real estate, which, by the way, y'all, freaking, I turned down residential realtors now. We had the highest performing real estate investment campaign on the planet for 7 years. My business partner John built that, and from a real estate investment standpoint, those are like flippers, wholesalers, investors. We were killing it. Residential realtors, it's so hard because you have like, Zillow, Trulia, Redfin, Open Door, all these people just hemorrhaging money. And Ryan's been able to make it work. So I'm really impressed with what he was doing. Arshad says, what about using Skag? Arshad, the single key phrase ad group, if you don't know what Skag is, SKAG, single key phrase ad group. I used to be a believer before Google got so algorithmic. And now in a Skag ecosystem, the issue that you're going to run into is you're just never equipped to take advantage of Google's machine learning in any way. I'm against Google's ongoing march towards all things automated, but there are elements of its machine learning that I think are really helpful. And if you go Skag, the only time I'd go Skag now is if there was a key phrase that from an industry perspective, I just knew this is the one phrase or set of phrases that are like the absolute most valuable to me and for me. And I'm going to niche down on these and invest all my budget. And I want to split test ad copy and landing pages all around this one group. But until that becomes the case, I'm not, Skag's kind of old school. And I've got a jet here in 2 minutes, y'all, with my apologies. But iHeart says, I wonder if I could use YouTube ads to push my channel up. I know you guys tried this. What do you think? Yeah, we get, John, how many leads do you think we get a week from YouTube? I bet you it's almost one a day by now. And not all of them are great. There's some low spends or some people that might not be great fits for us, but hopefully we're able to send everybody off better than we found them. And we get a ton of, we have less than 2,000 subscribers, and we're getting, a couple of leads a week at a minimum. And some of them are amazing leads. So I'd say absolutely go use YouTube. The key with YouTube though is I think a bad video hurts you more than a good video helps you. So only create quality content. I've put some stuff out there where I was just tired or bored or whatever, and I noticed that I just don't record that day. Like, make sure it's always quality. You got to really respect your ecosystem. Yeah, John's saying we're getting 3 to 4 leads. Lee Waters says, what's your thoughts on local businesses with very small budgets, $150 to $200? The problem with that, Lee, is the average CPC in the Google ecosystem is $2. So if you're spending, $200 and you have $2, that's 100 clicks, which means you get to make maybe one decision. And that's if your CPC is $2. If there's any competition whatsoever, chances are your CPC is probably closer to like $5 or $10, in which case you're not getting enough clicks to really optimize. Last comment, and then I've got a jet. Ryan says, click cease markets by saying a lot of your competitors are clicking on your ads. I've not found that to be the case. Yeah, I don't disagree with that at all. It's funny because in the click cease dashboard, click cease calls things fraud that clearly aren't fraud. Like, for them, every click that you don't want is fraud. And I understand why they're saying that. They're just contextualizing in a way that lets you know, like, it's very binary. It's like, this click good, this click bad. But they are pushing away clicks that I don't want. They might not necessarily, they're not fraud per se, but they're clicks that I don't necessarily want. So they get pretty aggressive with their marketing narrative, but I've been pretty impressed with their software so far. Anyway, sorry to cut this short, y'all. We ended up with a call that I have to take, but I'm going to do this every Friday, 9 a.m. Arizona time. Really appreciate you watching, commenting. I'm having so much fun with this channel and with everybody that's been participating. It's like a really cool community that we're building. So thanks, y'all, everyone, for showing up, and I'll see you next week.